The following podcast you're about to listen to is brought to you by the Push Start Media Network, where everything you do in life begins with pushing start. Your Enthusiasm podcast, brought to you by the Push Start Media Network. I am your humble host, Bryce Benjamin, and unfortunately, my co-host Ed Reuter wasn't able to make it in on today's recording session. But fortunately, we did have a comparable replacement on today's show, and I was joined by my guest today, my guy Josh, aka Duke Clark. And we had a really awesome conversation, particularly about the NBA playoffs that's been going on, and literally discussed almost every series and how we thought about the bubble so far. And then we went into the New York Knicks conversations. Josh is a huge Knicks fan, so we kind of picked his mind on what went wrong with the Knicks and how they can go forward from there. And to really wrap up the show, we talked a little bit of NFL football, listed off some of our favorite contenders, and I was able to get a Super Bowl prediction out of Josh there. So it was always looking forward to having Josh on the show, and it was really a great time. And I think you guys are definitely going to enjoy this episode. So without further ado, I want you guys to show some love for our guest today, my guy, Mr. Joshua Duke Clark. All right, we are live with my guy, Joshua, a.k.a. Duke Clark, in the building all the way from Wyoming. What is good, my dude?
Nothing much, man. Thanks for having me on.
Man, I appreciate you coming on, man. I've been trying to get you on the show for like a year and a half.
Yeah, facts, dude.
Yeah, finally was able to do it, though, man. How is Wyoming? Like, what's in Wyoming?
It's a beautiful state, man, but I'm in the southeastern corner, like I'm kind of close to Colorado.
Okay.
So there ain't much where I am. Most of the stuff is kind of like out west and like north, like Yellowstone's northwest. So I mean, there's like a bunch of state parks and like hiking if you're into that stuff, but for me, it's so far away, so I never really get more than a day off, so I can't really make that trip. So it's been a little rough, man, for sure.
Yeah. That's like when I think of Wyoming, that's what I think of. It's just like I just imagine like a bunch of bears and shit running around.
Yeah, it's like it's one of like 3 states in America that has grizzly bears.
Oh shit, yeah, grizzlies ain't no joke. Have you seen one live yet?
Nah, they're usually more up north, but there was like a black bear on the golf course here a couple months ago that we reported on, and like I came home one day and had like a herd of antelope it's a certain kind of deer they have out here, but I had like a herd of them in my front yard.
Okay.
Yeah, I've been surrounded by turkeys in my yard, dude. It's wild out here.
Oh, shit. I mean, are you a hunter?
No, I'm not. I always wanted to get into it, but when I was younger, I was so lazy. And my dad used to go real early in the morning, so I'd be like, no, I'm not getting up at 3.
I was about to say, man, that sounds like if he was a hunter, that's paradise.
Oh, yeah, it's definitely outdoorsman's paradise out here, for sure.
That's what's up, man. Well, listen, I appreciate you joining the show. Before we get into things, I want you to let the people know that's listening and express your fanhood. So, first of all, you went to school for journalism to become a sports journalist, right?
Yeah, I went to Arizona State.
Okay. Yeah. Okay, that's what's up. But tell us about your favorite teams, favorite sports, players. Take a minute, talk your shit, man. Let the people know.
This is like depression, this segment. So I'm New York everything except for college. So I'm Bills, Yankees, Knicks, I'm not too heavy into hockey, but when I do, I'm a Sabres fan. And then college, I'm a Sun Devils fan. And I was actually, they've always been like a mediocre team, like I don't know if you watch college basketball, but a couple years back they went number 2 and then lost like almost all their conference play, got knocked out of the first round. And then we got Herm Edwards for football, and we had our best recruiting class this year for basketball. So we were favorites to win the basketball conference, and we were just behind USC for favorites to win football this year.
Okay.
So I'm kind of like, coronavirus might mess up our best season, but yeah, man, I grew up. I was a Mike Vick fan. That's kind of when I started getting into football. But then after he got in trouble and stuff, I deferred back to the Bills, and I've been a Bills fan since.
Okay.
And Knicks.
The New York. We're gonna talk about them. We definitely gonna discuss that. Yeah, that's a fact.
Yeah, that's why I'm not getting too much into it right now. But the Yankees are the only team that haven't consistently let me down my whole life.
Yeah, Yankees. You know they've
had a couple bad years, but
yeah, for the most part though, man. I mean, what is it? 27 championships.
Yeah, and I've seen 5 of them, 6 of them. Can't really think of the number right off the top of my head, but I basically started watching sports really in like 2001. So like that Lakers championship, my first World Series was the Mets Yankees.
Yeah.
And then so my first favorite football player was Marshall Faulk because I had Super Bowl.
You gotta do it. Gotta definitely do it. Marshall Faulk. That's what's up. Yeah, Marshall was a fucking beast. That's crazy. That's around the same time that I think I started to really dive deep into sports too. It was like around 01, 02. That's when I watched my first this first Super Bowl I ever sat down and watched from quarter to quarter was Baltimore versus New York, and obviously that's how I became.
That was 2000, right?
Yeah, 2000. Yep.
Yeah.
So that's when you finally start to get that understanding about sports. You're around 9, 10 years old. You finally start to understand shit. You playing video games. That's getting to you, So that's about the good. Yeah, that's about the right age.
And your ADD starts calming down. You can actually sit down and watch the whole game.
That's a fact. That's a big fact. Yeah. These NBA playoffs. First of all, I want to get your thoughts on the NBA bubble. Has this gone as well as you thought it would, or has it gone better?
I think it's gone a lot better, man. I thought a lot of my friends were like a lot of my friends bet, and they come to me and they ask, and I was just like, man, just stay away because you don't know. I was thinking when we first got into it, I was thinking the defensive teams would really thrive, but it was the exact opposite. We were seeing all these crazy numbers, 150 points. I'm thinking like the shots are going to be rusty and all that, but it was the exact opposite. It was offensive all day, and the playoffs have been. I think there was a lot of people complaining about how the Suns didn't make it and stuff like that, but I think the teams who should have made it made it. All these series have been very entertaining. Yeah. Outside of the Bucks Magic was kind of a little bit of a snooze fest, but other than that, I think every single series has been super entertaining. That Mavs Clips series is crazy. Mm-hmm. Obviously the Jazz and the Nuggets. So I think it's been great, man. It honestly makes me kind of think like maybe they should take a month off in between every season and kind of really let everyone get their legs back underneath them. Yeah,
let everybody get rested up. And I felt the same way. Like going into it, I was a little skeptical on it. At first of all, I thought like the season was going to be done. I was like, there's no way that they're going to be able to make this happen. But sure enough, the players union and Chris Paul and LeBron, and they all got together, and Michelle Roberts and Adam Silver, they made it work. They got down there. They did the seeding games to kind of get everybody legs under them. The scrimmages, then the seeding games. And then, eventually the playoffs kicked off, and it has went like literally 10 times better than I originally thought this was going to be. The crowd, like not having the crowd there at first, it's like, you miss that energy. Yeah. You know what I mean? Somebody hit a big three, crowd going crazy. They feeding off the energy of the crowd. You kind of miss that. But at the same time, though, it's still basketball. It's still like the greatest athletes in the world competing against one another, and they're still going hard as shit. So it has me.
Yeah, it's been really good for like the playground players, the guys with the offensive moves, like Harden, Lillard, Jamal Murray is just exploded for like it seems like no reason. The man just came out of nowhere. So it's been like a cool, especially for people like me and you. We grew up during that time where there was a lot of that one-on-one scoring. We saw it was exciting scoring, and I feel like it kind of felt like that during the bubble. Yeah, it's kind of reverting back to what it was now that it's in the playoffs. But yeah, it was a ton of fun, and being big NBA fans, man, you're just thankful that they were able to get that done.
Yeah, that's a fact.
Adam
man.
Silver's the best GM in sports, man. Or not GM, sorry,
Commissioner. Yeah, I agree, man. You could tell that the players respect him. He seems like he's always for the players and for the fans as well. And then obviously, the name of the game is they want to make money and whatnot. But the way that they was able to progress forward and get this thing going is I got nothing but high praises for them and the NBA in general. And you mentioned it, the Utah Jazz and that Denver Nuggets series, 7-game series, where I thought it was over when Denver went down 3-1. And you got fucking Donovan Mitchell going absolutely bonkers. But then for Jamal Murray to come back and start going like equaling like what Mitchell was doing and then even surpassing what he was doing.
Yeah.
Bro, that showdown was must-see TV. I never thought I would say in my lifetime that I need to go watch Utah-Denver play. Like, I need to see this game.
Man. Even coming into the series, man, I was just like, I was like, if I could miss any series, it's going to be that one.
That was the one. Yeah, that was hands down the one. Yeah.
And then it's insane. Like, you think Donovan Mitchell's just hitting this next level. And I mean, Jamal Murray's always kind of been streaky, but 2 50-point games in a 4-game span to kind of like lead your team back for 3-1 deficit. And it was crazy because, I mean, I thought you need strong leadership on a team to come back 3-1. Even good teams aren't going to come back from that.
Right.
And when you're looking at Denver, it's like, who are you really looking to? It's like Jokic has been an all NBA type player, but we don't really know how he is as a leader. And Jamal Murray just comes out of nowhere. And then even at the end of that last game, where he didn't really have the crazy stats, both him and Mitchell didn't really have crazy stats, but they were going back and forth. As soon as the game kind of started getting close, it was back to them, even though Jokic hit that big shot. But for a lot of those offensive possessions, it was back to what was happening a couple of games before with both of them dropping 50. And yeah, man, it ended up being probably the best series. Unless we see something crazy in Game 7 tonight with Houston and is that tonight? Houston.
Yeah, that's tonight. That's right after this Miami-Milwaukee game in which Miami is just giving it to Milwaukee. Well, it's a 9-point lead, but Milwaukee can't do nothing with them right now. But yeah, that turned out to be one of the best first-round series that I can remember in my basketball watching history. Not only from the explosions of scores that Mitchell and Murray was battling against one another, but then it's like it had that flip. So you had the 3-1 where you had blowouts. You had a blowout victory by Utah, and then they go up 3-1, and then it's like, okay, this game is over. But then you had that flip for that Denver team where Mike Malone makes the adjustments. He's putting the ball in Jamal Murray's hands because Jokic, for the most part of that series, Gobert was doing a hell of a job on Jokic. He was having a tough time getting to the rim, doing any of the shit that he's normally doing. So then they put the ball in Jamal Murray's hands, especially late in the games, and the man delivered. Like, I did not see this coming from Jamal Murray, man. I've seen this dude, when it comes to big moments, shrink. Last year, they go 1-on-1 against Portland to get to the Game 7, and Jamal Murray really didn't show up in that series. But then for him to come into this round and then bring his team back down from 3-1 with some incredible performances, yo, like literally, like you said, 50, 40, and 50, that showed me something. I was like, yo.
Yeah.
This kid
and the shots he was hitting, it wasn't just how much he scored, it was how he scored it. I want to see if he can keep something similar up in the next series. They have the Clips, so it's gonna be tough with Paul. I mean, especially if Beverly comes back too, it's gonna be tough. But they were letting Doncic get off, so maybe Murray can keep some of that steam, man.
But actually, let's kind of talk about that series, Dallas and Clippers. Luka Doncic. How do you like? I don't know about how you feel about him, but I'm all in. I'm 100% in on him.
Dude, I've been all in. I'm a big fan of Bill Simmons, the ringer, and Kevin O'Connor was just smashing that dude through my head for months that season. And I always trust Kevin O'Connor's opinion, man. And I remember when they traded, I was all in him before I even seen him play. And I remember when they traded that pick, when Atlanta traded that pick to get Trae Young, a pick for